Continuing from the previous episode 500. Each other. Zhu Jin snorted coldly, and then the silver-white thunder fighting chi flickered all over his body. Out of caution, Zhu Jin directly pressed the power of that domain back into his body and switched to his own thunder fighting chi. Under the blessing of the Lei Yu array, the power of Lei Do Qi should not be underestimated. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem, Shabu Shabu. The next moment, Zhu Jin moved. Zhu Jin was surrounded by the power of thunder, his figure moved suddenly, and he instantly appeared in front of a thousand-faced ghostly face. Boom boom boom! His right hand clenched his fist and suddenly swung it at the grimace in front of him. Above the old fist, there is an extremely dazzling silver-white thunder power. Just hit the grimace. The grimace is like a cotton candy, deeply dented. The next moment, a weak feeling slowly came from above the arm. What is this? He pulled out his hand instantly, and then Zhu Jin left the place where the thousands of ghost faces were, and came to the midair of the thunder field array. Susu. Countless grimaces exuded disdain. This thing is weird. Now there are thousands of these thousand-faced ghosts, and I don't know who is real and who is fake. There is no way to strike a fatal blow. Zhu Jin said slowly. Moreover, Zhu Jin's attack just now was also vaguely discovered. It seems that no matter how terrifying his attack strength is, it seems to have hit a piece of marshmallow. Looking at the grimace that don't hit by himself, there was already a faint trace of silver-white power of thunder on top of the black chi grimace. This grimace can actually devour my power of thunder. Zhu Jin was shocked. Zhu Jin, although I have no intention of killing you, if you only have this strength, I'm afraid you will fall here today. Above the grimace, he said slowly. Humph, don't forget that you are still in my thunder field array at this time. Zhu Jin snorted coldly. Although this minefield formation has restrained me a lot, but without the suppression of that field, what can you do to me? Grimace said mockingly. Then go to death. Zhu Jin only knew that the thousand-faced ghost was not telling a lie, because since the 1,000-year-old ghost was recorded, no one could be killed. Lei Lai. Right above the thunder field array, Zhu Jin spoke slowly, and an incomparably majestic voice broke through the entire thunder field array in an instant. With Zhu Jin's voice, the calm thunder field array suddenly became noisy everywhere, and beams of dazzling thunder beams appeared out of nowhere, then rose into the sky and gathered towards Zhu Yan. Choke! More and more thunder beams gathered directly around Zhu Jin, making Zhu Jin look like a ** of thunder surrounded by thunder, and a domineering aura emerged. The power of thunder is really domineering. Thousands of grimaces spoke at the same time, and the next moment, the grimace slowly caged together, apparently from the dazzling thunder beams beside Zhu Jin. I sensed a trace of danger, the taste of. In the Lei Yu array, I am the master. Zhu Jin spoke slowly, a proud fighting spirit emerged in his eyes, and then the questioning majesty resounded throughout the Lei Yu array. Susu. The 1,000-year-old ghost also found that the bamboo embers were not easy to mess with, and immediately above the thousands of ghost faces, circles of strange black energy continued to emerge, slowly protecting the ghost faces. It's almost there. Zhu Jin saw that a lot of dazzling thunder beams appeared in the thunder field array, and immediately stopped calling, and then stared at the 1,000-faced ghost not far away. Since you don't know which body your body is, it's good to destroy them all. Zhu Jin said slowly. All destroyed? Then let's see if you have the ability. A gloomy smile came out. Lei Yu array, Wu Lei Town ghost. A loud shout suddenly appeared from Zhu Jin's mouth. Shabu Shabu. A roar made the dazzling thunder beams around Zhu Jin become more and more violent, and bursts of domineering power of destruction continued to emerge, and the momentum was almost equal to the ghostly energy above the ghost face. Jen. Under Du's order, the dazzling beam of thunder beside Zhu Jin, like a soldier who received an order, blasted away at the grimace split by the 1,000-faced ghosts and black mist. It's just right. The 1,000-faced ghost snorted coldly, directly waving and controlling the grimace around him, and then greeted the dazzling thunder beam. Bang bang bang! The terrifying thunder beam and the grimace formed by thousands of strange black chi suddenly collided together. Then, the thunder beam burst out with extremely domineering power, and the ghost face burst out with terrifying ghost energy. After the two forces confronted each other, they instantly melted and disappeared into the thunder field array. It's just that Zhu Jin didn't notice that after the thunder beam and the grimace melted, a trace of black energy remained on each grimace, but it was too small for Zhu Jin to notice. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying fluctuations continued to emerge in the thunder field formation, making the space created by this formation rather unstable, and it might collapse at any time. In town, Zhu Jin immediately sank his eyes and shouted, "CC!" Zhu Jin's voice just fell, and in the thunder field array, beams of dazzling thunder beams gathered from all directions, and then directly met the whistling grimace. Thousand-faced attack. Thousands of grimace had been consumed by Zhu Jin just now, and there were only a few hundred left. With the roar of hundreds of grimace faces, there was already a gloomy wind in the thunder field formation at this time, which looked rather strange. Boom, boom, boom. A dazzling thunder beam hit a grimace with an incomparably domineering aura, and then the two instantly melted away, disappearing in the thunder field array without any fluctuations. The black air slowly condensed together. Bastard, how is that possible? Zhu Jin is always watching the battle in the sky, and if anything goes wrong, he will stop. But every time the thunder beam attacked, Zhu Jin seemed to find that although the grimace had disappeared, the thunder beam condensed in his thunder field array also disappeared. In this way, things go up and link to down. www.novelmtl.com. Zhu Jin has a premonition that something bad will happen. The last move. Zhu Jin glanced at Shefu below through the Leiyu array, and found that at this time, Nu Dong and his party had all been defeated. Only Nu Dong was still struggling to support, but looking at this, obviously it won't last long. It's time to go. The remaining dozens of ghost faces of the thousand-faced ghost instantly merged, and then the traces of the melted black energy also merged into his body. All the black chi came back and instantly merged, and then turned into a figure surrounded by black chi. Above that figure, a force of life and death emerged, and Zhu Jin's strength was only stronger than weak. Wu Lei Zhenshin Palm. The aura in the body soared to the limit, a substantive force of life and death emerged, and a roar shook the sky. Then there was a flash of thunder power in Zhu Jin's pupils, and a breath of death suddenly appeared. In the palm of the hand, an extremely dazzling silver-white light appeared. Although the palm was only wrapped, no one dared to underestimate the power contained in it. Bang, bang, bang. The space around Zhu Jin instantly collapsed. It's actually a holy rank fighting skill. A hint of shock appeared in the ghostly figure with thousands of faces, and then no longer hesitated. The figure suddenly drank, and a circle of black energy spread frantically towards its feet. The next moment, with the appearance of this ghostly energy, the space shrouded by the thunder field array shattered. The thunder field array was instantly destroyed. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 501. A thousand-faced ghost. Take me a move. Zhu Jin shouted angrily, not at all surprised that this thousand-faced ghost had destroyed his minefield formation. Because Zhu Jin knows that the strength and identity of this thousand-faced ghost are extremely mysterious, and it can be regarded as a strange and mysterious person in the ghost world. Too surprised. However, Zhu Jin could feel that at this moment, the thousand-faced ghostly figure spread out into the black air, and a huge force emerged in an instant, and the thunder domain was broken in an instant, and I saw an extremely bright beam in the sky. Strength and a black air. Such fluctuations, holy rank fighting skills? Under the desert, Na Dong suddenly drank, then took a deep breath of cold air, and a sense of fear emerged spontaneously. The power of immortal level fighting skills. If there is no defense, I am afraid that one blow is enough to kill. This holy level fighting skills are even more terrifying. It has already surpassed the category of immortal rank, and it is a big killer move in the true sense. Since this kind of holy rank fighting skill is too rare, Nu Dong does not know its specific power, but one thing is certain, once the holy rank fighting skill is shown, no one can match. Damn bastard. What the asterisk did this Soul Clan do? Nu Dong shouted angrily, forcibly suppressing the anger in his heart. His breath was soaring, ready to get rid of Shefu. Nu Dong, you leaked the shocking secrets of my Medusa family, and you colluded with the Ghost World and the Xuanling royal family. This time, I'm afraid you will be spared the death penalty. As for, give up resistance. Several of the subordinates who followed Nu Dong had already been captured by the 8 leaders. After all, the leaders of the 9 Medusa tribes should not be underestimated. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS, Koem, the trend has gone. I knew I shouldn't have listened to the words of this ghost world person, sigh. Nu Dong shook his head, and then said in a mournful voice. Go back. The next moment, just when Shefu was about to take hold of Nu Dong, two extremely terrifying energies suddenly rioted in the sky, and a sense of unease appeared in everyone's heart. It's been a long time since I did my best. Zhu Jin slowly raised his palm, a silvery white light appeared on the palm, and then an ancient aura from the ancient past appeared on the palm. What kind of power is this? The thousand-faced ghost on the other side, who had just cracked Zhu Jin's thunder field array and was about to flee, discovered Zhu Jin's terrifying fighting skills, and immediately hesitated. Holy fighting skills, it should be considered a good piece of information. I want to try and see how powerful this holy level fighting skill is. When the time comes, I will go back to the ghost realm and sell this information to the ghosts who want to attack Zan Santian. I'm afraid I can get what I want. Qianmian on top of the ghostly dark figure, dark black qi constantly emerged, squirming on its body, like a very gloomy ghost qi. This thousand-faced ghost is actually so arrogant, or does he have his credentials? Zhu Jin hesitated for a moment, and then swept away his worries. Because Zhu Jin has self-confidence, he can definitely inflict heavy damage on this thousand-year-old ghost with his holy fighting skills. Ghost energy, come! A gloomy voice resounded through the sky. Boom boom boom! With the order of the thousand faces ghost, the trace of pure black energy on the ghost's face that had been consumed by the thunder field array suddenly emerged from his body. Then it appeared directly in front of the thousand-faced ghost and quickly condensed, and that appearance instantly merged into an extremely rounded black bead. Above the bead, an extremely eerie aura suddenly emanated. Holy rank fighting skill. Thunder falling to the sky. An angry roar resounded through the sky. With a loud shout, above the sky changed dramatically, changing in an instant, and thunderclouds suddenly appeared above Zhu Jin's head. The color of the thundercloud is quite strange. It is a color close to silver white, but the thunder that emerges from the thundercloud is pitch black. But it was this silver white thundercloud that made thousand-faced ghosts feel a sense of unease. Get up! As soon as the voice fell, Zhu Jin raised the palm wrapped in silver white mysterious power high above his head. Shabu! A flash of thunder suddenly dispatched, and then slapped directly on the desert on the ground. Boom boom boom! Immediately, a huge pit of several hundred meters appeared out of thin air. Damn, this thunderbolt is not at the same level as the thunder field array just now. It actually makes me feel scared. This holy level fighting skill really lives up to its reputation. If I am given enough power, I will be left here today. Thousand-faced ghost stared at the strange-looking Zhu Jin in front of him. Although he didn't know what the asterisk he wanted to do, there was something the ghostly face knows, that the power of this holy rank fighting skill should not be underestimated. Lei Ju! Zhu Jin shouted loudly, and then the thundercloud above his head suddenly appeared a very bright black thunder, and then directly with the aura of destroying the sky and destroying the earth, it suddenly whistled towards Zhu Jin's palm. Go! Shabu! The black thunder was just injected into Zhu Jin's palm, and the original silver-white light of Zhu Jin's palm was instantly dyed with a trace of black power. Not enough! Zhu Jin shouted loudly, and then more and more black thunder continued to pour into his palm. The power of life and death of black and white, the domineering power of thunder. If this Zhu Jin's holy rank fighting skills, if there is no good defense, I am afraid that it can kill me in an instant. Thousand-faced ghost muttered. Link to plop www.novelmtl.com. The next moment, the thousand-faced ghost also felt a sense of fear from the black and white terrifying fluctuations on Zhu Jin's palm, and immediately did not hesitate. He opened his mouth and swallowed the black beads hanging in front of him. Just as the black beads were swallowed, a black mist suddenly emanated from his body. In a short period of time, a range of tens of meters emerged. Wherever the black fog goes, the space is swallowed up. Susu, saint-level fighting skills are indeed well-deserved. But I can't let you go on like this, otherwise this power will threaten me. Thousand-faced ghost snorted coldly. 5 soul-piercing thorns. A strange smile suddenly emerged from the black mist, and then, in the black mist, 5 dark chains burst out. Choke choke! Above the chain, There is a monstrous black energy mixed with the sky, and the sword's edge is the best weapon for killing. Go! Amidst the black fog, terrifying ghost auras were attached to the chains, and then the speed exploded, attacking the bamboo embers that were constantly absorbing the power of thunder. This soul-piercing thorn has the same origin as the one that attacked Zujin just now, but it was 3 souls before, but now it is 5 souls. The 5 chains are constantly changing, rushing away to the strange ghost. Holy rank fighting skills, isn't it that your soul-piercing thorn can compare to you? A proud voice sounded from Zujin's mouth under the thundercloud in the sky. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 502. Ha ha ha. Zujin, I admit that your holy rank fighting skills are very powerful, but at this time your holy rank fighting skills are far from being formed, and your strength is not enough. How can you fight me? Thousand-faced ghost heard the words, gloomy laughter from black emerging in the fog. Then give it a try. Zujin snorted coldly, and then the silver-white thundercloud moved rapidly. It looked like it wanted to resist the 5 chains. Wonderful, Thousand-faced ghost said disdainfully, because Thousand-faced ghost knew that his own soul-piercing stab could not be resisted by just a few thunderclouds. Boom boom boom. The terrifying silver-white thundercloud came to the chain in an instant, and all the terrifying black thunderbolts had been absorbed by the bamboo embers. At this time, the thunderbolts above the silver-white thunderclouds were quite weak. Choke. The chain and the thundercloud touched instantly, and then the chain made a very harsh sound. The next moment, at the center of the silver-white thundercloud, a dark chain suddenly pierced out. Then the silver-white thundercloud was instantly pierced, and then the 5 dark chains rushed towards Zujin. Bang bang bang. The silver-white thundercloud was broken by a chain with a strange ghost, and then disappeared into the sky into pieces. It should be enough. Zujin smiled slowly, but on the palm of his hand, a terrifying aura like the power of the ancient times suddenly filled the entire sky. Seeing this, the scarlet eyes in the black mist suddenly froze. Zujin slowly closed his eyes. But the next moment, Zujin suddenly opened his eyes and shouted, "Heavenly Palm." With a loud shout, it was like a thunderous thunder, attracting all the people above the sky in the desert. Thunderbolt, thunderbolt. As soon as the voice fell, the palm of Zujin's right hand, one black and one white, 2 completely different powers jumped close to the distance. Boom boom boom. At the next moment, Zujin suddenly stood up, and slapped his palms forward heavily. A strong aura that wiped out everything between heaven and earth emerged. The strange thing is that this time, the energy on Zujin's palm did not converge into an energy handprint and attack the 5 chains. Instead, it was just a miniature black and asterisk that slowly wrapped Zujin's palm, and then Zujin's the figure suddenly hit the 5 chains. Boom boom boom. As soon as the 2 collided, they collided with fierce sparks. What happened? Space freezes? A shock suddenly came from the black fog. Because Zujin's palm collided with the 5 chains at this time, Hei Wu wanted to take advantage of this time to escape, but found that the space here has solidified. No matter how turbulent you are, you can't move at all. Susu. The power and secrets of holy level fighting skills are rarely mentioned to me even by a few ghosts. Let's go. Otherwise, if you fall down today. In the black mist, those scarlet eyes were slightly solemn. Road. Break it for me, he shouted loudly, and then the 5 dark chains that were stalemate with Zujin, the palm wrapped by thunder instantly pressed over the dark chains, and then the chains were suddenly shattered under the power of the extremely overbearing thunder. And finally turned into traces of black gas and poured into the black mist. Cough, cough. Several violent coughs came from the black mist. Ghost fog. A roar suddenly emerged from the black fog. Shabu. A asterisk smell emerged from the scarlet eyes in the black mist, and then in this space, a dark and gloomy ghostly dream spread, letting this space, terrifying howls make this space the space trembled. Thousand-faced ghosts, where are you running? Zujin had just cracked the 5 soul-piercing, and the next moment, the offensive in his hands increased rather than decreased, and the speed exploded, coming towards the black mist. Zujin vaguely realized that this thousand-faced ghost seemed to have some purpose, and there were signs of escape at this time. Susu. Zujin, I have to say that you are very strong, but my goal has been achieved. See you next time. Just after the weird laughter ended, the weird black mist spread suddenly, covering the entire sky in an instant, and even the desert. "Let's go!" A cold snort came from the desert, and then Nu Dong, whose aura had been sluggish, was actually lifted up by a sinister palm surrounded by ghosts. "Damn it! Stop him!" Seeing this, Shefu immediately shouted angrily. "Susu, next time we see you, I hope you can still have such good luck." After the thousand-faced ghost said, he turned into a black light with his anger and disappeared in front of everyone. "Don't chase after poor thieves." Cough, cough. The bamboo embers above the sky instantly wilted, and then the terrifying attack on the palm also dimmed in an instant. "Zujin, are you all right?" Shefu frowned, obviously not knowing what happened to Zujin. I'm fine, but I didn't think that the price of rashly launching a holy rank fighting skill would be expensive." Zujin coughed violently. "It's fine," Shefu said directly, and the next moment he glanced at the 8 leaders next to him. "Everyone has worked hard this time. Everyone will go back to their tribe now and strengthen their defenses." Shefu said, "Lord Shefu, 3 people from the Xuanling royal family have already entered the temple. Are we joining forces to find out?" The male leader who had colluded with Nu Dong said, "The matter of the temple is not something you should worry about. You should worry about your business." A cold snort directly disrupted the man's plan. "Let's go. There should be no problem with Lord Shefu here. We should go back as soon as possible to prevent the Xuanling royal family from counterattacking." The Snake King also said, "If that's the case, then let's go." When the leader heard the words, he also nodded, and then mobilized the vindictive energy in his body and spread it out. After a few breaths, there were only Shefu, Zujin and some of Nu Dong's link to subordinates www.novelmtl.com. Let me tell you, how could Nu Dong collude with the Ghost Realm and the Xuanling royal family? Shefu said lightly, but there was an unquestionable majesty in his voice. "I don't know." A firm voice appeared. Crack! With a sound, the man's head and body were instantly separated. "That shot was Snake. It's your turn," Shefu said coldly. "Sir, spare your life, we really don't know." Several people under Nu Dong wailed at the same time. Crack! The voice sounded, and these people died instantly. The body and head were divided, and the soul was instantly killed, and these people would only become a bone as the desert eroded. "It's really cruel." Zujin couldn't help but said, "This is an internal matter of our Medusa. By the way, why did you come here suddenly?" Shefu glanced at Zujin next to him and said, "Just passing by." Zujin said casually, "I don't believe it. Is it what Fen Tian meant?" Shefu said, "You." Zujin's smile just disappeared instantly, his face full of surprise. "My Medusa clan is not your turn to help. We will naturally resolve the matter of the temple. You better manage your flames." Shefu said coldly, "We are already planning. Yanqi must be saved." Zujin said slowly, "Where is he?" Shefu asked in surprise. "It should be in the deepest part of the underground palace of the Xuanling royal family." "Are you sure?" "Not yet. If you need my help, just say." Shefu and Zujin were talking slowly, but the Medusa temple was sinking into the desert. Set a small goal first, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 503. With the end of the Medusa family affairs, Shefu also temporarily replaced the commander. With one orderly order, the 9 major Medusa tribes returned to their usual appearance. As for the Avengers ruled by Nu Dong, the tribe also has a new leader. As for the forces of Nu Dong, they have already been completely expelled. As for the blue and white snake, its foundation has been shaken due to the fall of the companion spirit snake, so its strength has dropped to the level of a first-turn 9-star fighting emperor, and I am afraid it will be difficult to improve in the future. However, since the blue and white snake did not have any life-threatening worries, Shefu had nothing to do. However, as the blue and white snake resigned from all positions and concentrated on teaching Qinyan, the injury in the body seemed to be slowly repaired under Qinyan's breath. I just don't know how long it will take to restore the peak. The temple of the Medusa family, in the core area of the Desert of Death. After Qin Tian and his group escaped from the temple, they also came to the center of the desert, which is also several kilometers away from the temple. "Captain, do we want to take a break? I think the injuries of the others are a little serious." Beside Qin Tian, Yao Xin glanced at the companions beside him and said slightly, "Let's rest here." Qin Tian said slowly, obviously because of his peak Do Emperor strength, He is still suffering from injuries, not to mention the other 8-star Do Emperor powerhouses. Shabu. Qin Tian and his group of 8 slowly came to the desert ground, then sat down directly, ignoring the terrifying temperature. Damn it. The strength of this Medusa clan is really terrifying. The next moment, Xuanmo sat down viciously and said, "This time, it's indeed that anger who has concealed something, otherwise we wouldn't be so embarrassed." That guardian beast of the colorful swallowing python almost had an accident. Qin Tian slowly formed a Do Chi light chair next to him and sat on it. "Are you all alright?" Kor said slowly. "It's alright, it's just a little out of strength." The next moment, a few people looked down and said. Then, hearing the words, Yaxin also felt relieved, and then directly stroked the ring in his hand. A jade bottle without a delicate medicinal pill appeared, and then the Yaxin threw it lightly and threw it at a few people around him. "Enter." "I don't know why. There seems to be something on the other side of the Temple of Medusa." Qin Tian swallowed the medicinal pill directly, and then his breath recovered almost 60%, and then stared at the desert area in the distance. That is a desert area. It is said to be one of the 3 most peculiar places in this desert of death. Although there are countless gold and silver treasures, the risk factor is quite high. Fan Yu said. Except for Qin Tian, the auras of the others have almost recovered to about 50%, so their faces also have some lifelike aura. Rest for a while, then let's go. Since they have entered the Medusa temple, the rest is up to them. Qin Tian slowly pondered, and the people who were talking were naturally Zan Ling. The 3 kings. Everyone made a deep voice, then closed their eyes and rested, trying to adjust their state. "Susu, Qin Tian brother, you really make us look good." Not long after, a gloomy voice appeared beside Qin Tian, and a strange black energy like a dead person wrapped around his body. An eerie aura suddenly emerged. "Lu Quan, you, the master of the 3 Solomon sects, are quite incompetent. Why don't you go and kill Zhu Jin?" Qin Tian's face sank. "The purpose of our trip is to kill Zhu Jin, so that our subsequent plans can be carried out more smoothly. But we just don't know where Zhu Jin is, so I'm here to ask you guys." Lu Quan, the 2 strong men of Solomon, stood beside him, and then slowly released an invisible coercion. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem, let's talk. Qin Tian's expression softened slightly. How can the ghost energy in Lu Quan's body be so strong, isn't it? Yaxin stood next to Qin Tian, and most directly felt the huge ghost energy in Lu Quan's body. Lu Quan responded slowly and flew down directly towards the desert where Qin Tian was, but it was strange that the 2 strong men beside Lu Quan didn't make any movements and stayed in the sky. "We've been looking for a lot of time, but this Zhu Jin's whereabouts are too strange, so..." Lu Quan's short stature and Qin Tian had just been together, and they immediately became clear about this. Zhu Jin's words should be in the depths of the Medusa clan, perhaps around the Medusa temple. Qin Tian frowned when he heard this, obviously not knowing why Lu Quan said this. King Fudaming dispatched such a terrifying lineup this time. I don't know why he came to this desert of death. Lu Quan smiled strangely at Qin Tian. "Lu Quan, what do you mean? A mere Solomon's 3 sect master is worthy of talking to me like this?" A loud shout emerged from Qin Tian's mouth. "Now, let's see if you are qualified." Lu Quan was not surprised when he heard the words. Immediately, the dark palm hidden under the black cloak, with a black liquid like water, suddenly faced Qin, who was within a few meters of him. "Attack away, bastard!" Qin Tian's pupils shrank suddenly, and just then he was about to defend Lu Quan, but he didn't expect that a heavy blow would directly hit his already body. Puff puff, a mouthful of blood spurted out of Qin Tian's mouth. "Lu Quan, what are you doing?" Among the few, Zan Wanxin, the weakest one, suddenly drank, and a monstrous aura emerged, directly facing the Solomon 3 sect master. "Captain, are you all right?" A soft voice came out. It was the medicine corps. "Go away." A roar emerged from Lu Quan's black cloak, and then spread into circles of black ripples, attacking directly at the complexion, Zan Wanxin. Link to leader www.novelmtl.com. You guys go first. Although Zan Wanxin was the weakest in the Dragon-Loving Legion, in terms of courage, no one in the Dragon-Loving Legion would back down. "Wanxin, if you say this, you will be seen as a foreigner. Our Dragon-Loving army is a whole." On the other side, Fan Yu's broad palm slapped Zhan Wanzhen's palm. Then let's fight, the three of you. Solomon, just want to swallow my dragon-loving legion, and I'm afraid they will kill you all. Qin Tian insisted, but a rather dark aura slowly wriggled around his chest, extremely ferocious. Susu, come on then. Qin Tian, your soul power at the peak of Do Di is extremely delicious. After Lu Quan finished speaking, he took off the black cloak that had been covering his body. Under the black cloak, there is a young and immature boy. The boy looks quite handsome and his facial features are correct, but in the pupils, black energy emerges, and he knows it is very strange. Go! They are already at the end of the game. Kill them. Their soul power is yours. Lu Quan opened his mouth slightly. Shabu! As soon as Lu Quan finished speaking, his figure suddenly appeared in the sky and quickly distanced himself from Qin Tian, but the two powerhouses Song Li and Yang Wei beside Lu Quan erupted into a monstrous darkness. He was angry, and then he went to the dragon-loving legion on the ground, like a hungry ghost rushing for food. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 504. Shabu Shabu. Song Li and Yang Wei's silhouettes moved, and they turned into two black auras, and they were ready to go to the people above the desert. Snort. A very strange voice suddenly came out of the two of them, and then the black air on the two of them seemed to have turned into a very transparent color, and a sense of crisis emanated from it, which seemed to be divided. Weird. Standing a few hundred meters away from the dragon-loving legion, the dragon-loving legion can also feel a sense of crisis. Protect the head, Yashin shouted, and it seemed that he also found the horror of these people, and the huge soul power continued to pour out. Let's capture it. Lu Quan's small figure made a disdainful voice, as if he didn't care about the other members of the dragon-loving legion. After all, the strength of the dragon-loving legion at this time is Qin Tian. Although Qin Tian is at the peak of Do Di, he has exposed too many methods in the fight with the Medusa clan just now. His current strength, I'm afraid it's only enough to deal with a 9-star Do Di. In addition, as for the Dragon Addiction Army at this time, there is no one in the 9-star duty, so Lu Quan is not afraid. Cough cough cough. Qin Tian coughed suddenly, and then the blood was not in the normal state, but a pool of strange black blood. What is this? Qin Tian instantly caught the pool of black blood in his hand and stared at it slowly and randomly. Qin Tian, I'm afraid it's time for you to return some of the things you took from our Solomon today. Lu Quan ignored the two powerhouses around him and the many dragon-loving legions guarding Qin Tian. People. Lu Quan, it was a waste of time for our Xuanling royal family to treat you like this, but you actually, cough, cough. Qin Tian shouted in anger. These people from the dragon-loving legion have little vindictive energy left in their bodies after the battle just now. Give it to me, Lu Quan said coldly, not at all like what a teenager should look like. Head, are you all right? Fan Yu and a few people surrounded him and slowly faced Qin Tiandao. It seems that the black qi in the body should be a little weird. Could it be that this black qi is ghost qi? Qin Tian was shocked, but he still shook his head and waved to a few people. This Lu Quan is a genuine 3-rank 9-star duty powerhouse. As for the other two, Song Li, the middle stage of the 8-star duty, Yang Wei, the late stage of the 8-star duty, this is extremely tricky. Yashin said slightly, his face is extremely solemn, obviously with the special exploration power of the drug core, he already knows the strength of the three Solomon. Head, what should we do now? Fan Yu stepped forward slightly, staring at the three Solomon powerhouses in front of him. Only hard. But remember, life is important. Qin Tian slightly adjusted the strength in his body, forcibly suppressed it, and then opened his mouth. Susu, old Qin Tian, your strength at the peak of Do Di is indeed well deserved. If you were an ordinary person, I'm afraid you would die. Lu Quan laughed, and the monstrous black air permeated the sky, instantly closing the space. Lu Quan had his own self-confidence. His attack just now was enough to kill an ordinary second-ranking 9-star Do Emperor. If Qin Tian had not had some special means, he would have died on the spot. Damn it! Qin Tian cursed secretly. It's too late, let's do it. Qin Tian also knew the seriousness of the matter. In this special closed space, no matter what happened to the outside world, he didn't know at all. If he fell into it, with Solomon's heart, he would definitely not let it go. Those who passed their groups suddenly drank. Shabu shabu. The other members of the dragon-loving legion nodded slightly after hearing the words. Years of cooperation between them had given them enough trust in each other. Therefore, even if the entire dragon-loving legion that is currently reserved has insufficient vindictive energy, no one escapes. This is the strength of the first trump card army of the Xuanling royal family. Song Li, Yang Wei, hold on to them. Qin Tian handed over to me. Lu Quan said coldly, go. If I absorb the soul power of the elites of the dragon-loving legion, I'm afraid my strength can be improved a lot. Song Li and Yang Wei thought in their hearts. Kill. A murderous aura suddenly emerged from Qin Tian's pupils. Qin Tian, today, you must die. After Lu Quan finished speaking, his figure moved strangely, and when he reappeared the next moment, he was already several meters away from Qin Tian's side, and a strange black energy emerged from his body, which was very gloomy. If you want to kill this king, do you think it's up to you? A disdain suddenly appeared from Qin Tian's mouth. Susu, worthy of being a powerhouse at the pinnacle of Do Di, with such a spirit. Lu Quan was not surprised at all, but instead stood opposite Qin Tian as usual. Although I have insufficient fighting qi in my body, and my body is covered with scars, the majesty of the Do Emperor's peak is not a threat to your mere rank 3 strength. Qin Tian's expression did not change, and he forcibly suppressed the conspicuous palm print on his chest. Ghost hands. With an angry shout, Lu Quan, who looked like a teenager, took the lead, because Lu Quan is also a vigilant person by nature. Although Qin Tian is now a tiger and Pingyang is bullied by a dog, in order to prevent any other means, he must not so. Su. As soon as Lu Quan finished speaking, a huge arm suddenly formed beside him linked to www.novelmtl.com who looked like a teenager. The arm is about tens of feet in size, but above the arm, a strange black air emerges, mixed with a terrifying aura. Qin Tian, it's not dead yet, Lu Quan said coldly, and then the ghost hand erupted with monstrous black energy, and suddenly waved towards Qin Tian. Tips for carving insects, Qin Tian said calmly with an inappropriate expression. Then Qin Tian was surrounded by a fiery red that was extremely hot or appeared out of thin air. Shabu shabu. The black ghost hand and the fiery red flame just touched, and the black wave suddenly turned into a white mist. What is this? When Lu Quan saw this scene, his pupils shrank slightly, because even with the strength of his third-ranking 9-star Do Di, when staring at the fiery red flame, a blazing passion came from his heart. Sense emerges. Humph. Lu Quan, do you think this king has no support? Your rank 3 strength, today. I am afraid that you are going to fall here. Qin Tian was surrounded by fiery red flames, and an aura of flames that wiped out everything immediately appeared. Qin Tian, you are still stubborn when you die. Although Lu Quan was surprised, he didn't show it. The strong man suppressed the shock in his heart, because Lu Quan knew that today was the best chance to kill Qin Tian. If he kills Qin Tian and absorbs the soul of Qin Tian Do Emperor Peak through special means, I am afraid that his strength is enough to step into the real Do Emperor Peak, or even add a few other dragon-loving legionaries to break through to the real peak. The half-immortal is not a bad idea. I don't want to waste time with you, the game of cat-catching fish should be over. The next moment, Lu Quan changed his breath, and a delicate item slowly appeared in his hand. Set a small goal first, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website.